Good morning, 2020 North Texas Buckskin Brigade Cadets. We're here at the Warren Ranch outside Coleman, Texas, where we would be having camp. And we're going to start this morning with a little plant of the day talk. Were y'all really at camp here with us? We'll explain a little bit of plant of the day. Throughout the week, we do a lot of plant identification. The main thing for that is you can't manage the deer unless you manage the habitat. And to manage the habitat, you've got to know your plants, and you've got to know how to manage them. So at camp, we do plant of the days throughout the day, where we'll introduce several species of plants that are good for our deer population, whether that's food, cover, fawning cover, browse, things like that. And we would talk a little bit about each one of them and explain their benefits to whitetail deer. So that's what we're going to do here. We'll learn a lot about habitat throughout the week, so y'all stay tuned for that. But it all comes down to knowing your plants. So with that, we're also going to have some opportunities after this. At some point today, the cadets, y'all, will be getting an email that has a plant list attached, and it's going to have a map with it for your region of the state. And there's also going to be the chance for a plant scavenger hunt photo contest. We'll explain the rules of that in a little bit, but be looking on our Facebook account for the plant list and the map, and be ready for an email. And like I say, we'll get to that here in a minute. But let's start with our first plant of the day then. Okay. All right. First plant of the day here is growing right here. There's several of them all around me. This is called Indian mallow. And I'll dig one up here just so we can look at it closer. So this is a very healthy looking specimen here. Don't worry, I'll put it back when I'm done. And just a little bit about it. This is a forb. There's several classes of plants that we're going to be looking at. This is a forb, or most commonly referred to, people are going to call them weeds. But deer are selective browsers, and they actually prefer the forbs and the browse to grass. I get a lot of miscommunication about deer eating grass, and they're actually more highly selective to the forbs and the browse species because of the higher quality diet they provide. But this plant right here, this is called Indian mallow. It is a perennial, meaning it comes back from the root every year. The types of forbs that we're going to be talking about for deer, there's perennials like this one that comes back from the root every year, and then there's annuals. Annuals have a 1-year lifespan. They start from seed every year, they produce seed, and then they die. And there's a lesson to be had about annuals and perennials we'll get into in a minute. But this particular plant right here is Indian mallow. It's got the heart-shaped gray leaf. It's very velvety soft. These plants, they're pretty versatile as far as where they grow. This particular spot is in a spot which got some fairly deep soils, but I also see them on some fairly shallow sites where the ground's a little bit more rocky. So it's a hardy plant. As you can tell by the root system, it can survive. It's got the root system to handle drought and poor quality soils. But very velvety soft leaf. It can be single-stemmed or multi-stemmed. The leaves alternate up the stem, meaning we got one coming off here and then it goes up and another one comes off the other side. So they alternate as they go up the stem. The leaf edges, they're slightly toothed. You can see that, but very easily identifiable, and it's pretty common throughout the state of Texas. In the summertime, the crude protein values can be anywhere from they can be around 14%, which is pretty good. We got a friend on that leaf right there. Look at that. It's pretty cool. And anyway, so this is our plant of the day number 1. Name is Indian mallow. That right there. The next class, another class of plants, if y'all want to follow me over here, this is going to be under the browse category. this is a this one is a pretty tall tree. This is called a cedar realm. It can grow pretty tall, I believe up to at least 80, up to sometimes 80 feet tall. But the lower limbs that are accessible by deer provide pretty high quality browse. You can see right here the leaves, the very dark green, smooth on top, very rough on the bottom, and they're somewhat hairy on the bottom. And it's got a very identifiable old venation pattern. It's a net venation, but you can see how the net veins there run very distinctly parallel to one another. The double tooth on the margins of the leaves, and they grow close. Leaves grow close enough together on the stem that they kind of, one leaf kind of overlaps another one here that alternate up the stem. Sometimes the stems are identifiable. They'll have like a wavy lace on the newer stems, the new growth is this kind of reddish color, but very high quality deer browse, and very good, very versatile plant. It can also be found on upland sites away from water, and it can also be found closer to your deeper soils, wetter sites. But anyway, so those are our first two plants of the day, Indian mallow and cedar realm. And we'll be going over more plants throughout the week. So this is where we're going to issue a challenge to those would-be cadets that are watching now. We want to get y'all out, and we want to get y'all looking for deer plants in your own regions of the state. Now, the list that we provided, it does have plants from across the state, so you should be able to find some of them no matter where you're at. And the instructors at North Texas Buckskin, we went over it last night, and we picked out our favorites, but there's still a lot of plants on for y'all to look at and try to go hunt. And I realize some of y'all are gonna have to get creative. Not everybody has a ranch they can get out on. But get creative. A lot of good deer plants grow just in the road ditches or city parks, open lots, you name it. You'd be surprised where you can find a lot of valuable deer plants. So anyway, get creative and go. We want y'all to hunt some plants, send us some pictures, and now I'm going to cut over to Samantha Saldivar here, and she's going to explain the rules to our plant scavenger hunt.
Hey guys, we really hope that you are able to watch our videos and stay engaged with camp even though you're not here with us. We really wish you were. It's kind of weird having camp without cadets, honestly. So we've kind of come up with some ways for you to earn some what we're going to call engagement points throughout camp. And you can earn these whether you're watching live with us or earn them later on. We just want to see that you're watching our videos and really trying to learn what we're putting out. Hey, you've been quarantined and at home for almost 6 months now. We're trying to give you a great excuse to get outside, okay? So we're going to do a plant of the day photo contest. So the list that Matt described to you, we're going to get that out to you, and we want you guys to go out and take some pictures of your plants that you are able to find that are off that list. When you take a picture, make sure to put your thumb in the picture, just a thumbs up, so that we know that you were there, that picture is something you took. And we want you to post it either to our Facebook or to our Instagram. You can take up to 4 pictures for the photo contest, but if you find more plants, hey, more plants is always better than less plants. So you can enter up to 4 times, and you can get up to 100 what we're going to call engagement points, and those engagement points are going to go towards your book of accomplishments. I know you don't know what a book of accomplishments is right now, but if you come back and watch this afternoon, I believe at 5, we're going to be talking all about your book of accomplishments, how you fill it out, what you can earn by doing a book of accomplishments, and there's some really awesome opportunities that are going to be afforded to you through that book of accomplishments. So I really want you to pay attention to that talk, enter this contest, be engaged in our posts. Each video is going to have a code word. The code word for this talk is going to be perennial. And you're going to have a place in your book of accomplishments to write down the code word to prove that you watch these videos. So I know you don't have that book of accomplishments now, but write down that code word or come back and watch this video if you forget. But you're going to want to have that code word, okay? So I think that's it for Plant of the Day talk. We'll see you guys back about 2 o'clock, and we're going to talk about wildlife and nature photography. And there's going to be a cool contest that goes along with that too. So we'll see you guys back at 2. If you have any questions about the Plant of the Day or the Plant of the Day contest, comment below. Comment on our Instagram. We're going to be around answering questions all day. All right? Thanks, guys.